Another big story we're following this morning. NBC News has learned a New York grand jury has indicted the Trump Organization as well as its longtime CFO, Alan Weisselberg. Two sources familiar with the matter confirmed the indictments to NBC News. And new this morning, Weisselberg has surrendered to the office of the Manhattan District Attorney. That happened a little after 6 a.m. Now, the specific charges were not immediately cleared, but it is expected the indictment will be unsealed this afternoon, according to a representative with the Trump team. We do know that these are state charges, not federal ones, and therefore potential tax crimes. Let's bring in NBC News correspondent for investigations, Tom Winter, who's been up late through the night reporting on all these developments. So, Tom, these indictments are 3 years in the making. What do we know about the case?
Joe, I think this is going to be specifically tied to benefits and compensation off the books that Alan Weisselberg and others may have received as a result of their work for the Trump Organization, and whether or not that was correctly accounted for. You can be bet if they're moving forward with an indictment, they're going to say that it was not correctly accounted for and properly handled. So that's where I think this is going to center around today. As you suggested, Alan Weisselberg is, in fact, at the Manhattan District Attorney's office. He turned himself in around 6:20 this morning. The Trump Organization and Alan Weisselberg will be in court sometime around 2 p.m., we're told, according to a person familiar with the matter on the Trump side of things, later today. And at that point, we'll know the specific charges that they're expected to face, Joe.
So, Tom, do prosecutors want something out of Alan Weisselberg in terms of cooperation? And if so, what are they looking for here?
I think that's exactly where they're going with this, is kind of an opening salvo in an investigation that, as you said, is over 3 years old. It's been just a little bit over 4 months and 7 days since they've gotten Donald Trump's tax returns. And really, Alan Weisselberg, as the chief financial officer, is going to be the person who knows why the Trump Organization did what it did with respect to its finances. And that's where this investigation centers around. So if you're going to get somebody who's going to eventually perhaps cooperate, testify, provide information, Alan Weisselberg is really one of the keys to that.
And, Tom, important to note here, former President Trump has not been indicted. But does he face perhaps any legal or financial trouble down the road?
Well, not today, but I mean, I think long term, that's going to be the ultimate question that we're going to have to try to figure out, Joe. And it's really up to the Manhattan District Attorney's office. What documents do they have and what information can they get if it does, in fact, lead to Donald Trump?
And, Tom, what other avenues are investigators looking at in terms of any other potential crimes?
You know, one thing we're not talking about today is something that Cy Vance and his attorneys said, the Manhattan District Attorney said in their court filings, which is this idea of bank fraud and potential insurance fraud crimes. They've included that in the past as something that they are looking into. They wouldn't say that if they didn't think those were avenues to pursue. So we haven't heard anything about that today. Again, just another indication why we think this investigation is going to continue far beyond today's indictments.
And we know you'll stay on it. Tom Winter, thanks so much for your reporting this morning. Appreciate it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.